If we got the big iPad Pro 13-inch out, you know this is going to be a serious video, you guys. This is going to be the video that I'm going to direct anybody that's starting GoodNotes. A lot of people follow me on TikTok. A lot of people find me on Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. And I don't have a good place currently to bring anybody to start their GoodNotes journey. And I have honestly hundreds at this point of videos, but I know that they're piecemeal, which is why I came out with the course. The only issue is, if you guys didn't know, I have a course on my website. GoodNotes changed a couple of things, and so there's not an updated one, which I do plan on filming. But for now, here we are, GoodNotes for Beginners on YouTube for free. Okay, this won't be up forever, so enjoy your time, okay? The app that I'm using is GoodNotes. It looks like that, and it is a paid app. You do need to pay for it. It's a one-time purchase, or you could do the monthly. I recommend the one-time because eventually, if you ever want to use it again, if you quit, you can do that, okay? I am right now using the iPad Pro 13-inch. My favorite digital planning device is the iPad mini. I find it to be the most convenient when it comes to a real planner. Just as though you wouldn't buy a huge planner to lug around in your purse, it's the same thing when it comes to digital. So this is my favorite device, okay? I only use my 13-inch for work, creating all my stuff on the Pro, and just that kind of stuff. But for everything else, I use my mini, okay? Now, I'm kind of debating on where to start because as a beginner, there's a lot that you need to understand. The first one is going to be the toolbar, which I've gone over so many times, but I know it's something that a lot of people struggle with. But I think most importantly, I want to start with what to kind of purchase first or even do for free first, because I know a lot of people see the glorious stickers and they're like, I want that. I want my planner to look like that. And so that's where we're going to start. And then we're going to get into some like planning tips and tricks. Okay. So, if you're watching this and you don't have any kind of digital planning stuff, the first thing that you want to do is decide what method, with my planning method, which is different from a lot of others out there. With my method, you can start in any place and it doesn't have to be just a calendar. So when you think of a planner, you think of a monthly calendar. I have several of them for several different things in my life. This is my main monthly one with just like my plans and all that kind of stuff. But if that doesn't resonate with you and you're not someone, I hear a lot of people say like, I'm not that busy. I don't have that much stuff to plan per se when it comes to a monthly. There's a lot of different things that you can do, okay? So the first thing that you can do that you can start with is a cookbook, okay? This would actually be a really good place to get started because it's pretty easy. So I might go into that, but I have the cookbook. I have the to-do list. These are all of my weekly to-do lists. I have several of them. There are 7 pages and each page is a day. They're undated. I put date dots on there. Don't worry about the date dots yet. And these are my weekly to-do list. This is what I do every single week lately. I have a big running to-do list, okay? So in my Etsy shop under the list, it's on the section on the left-hand side if you're on the computer or on a drop-down, you can pick the list. And I have like 4 or 5 that you can pick from. So that is also a really good place to start. If you're someone that tells me, I use my Apple Calendar for everything. My whole life is in my Google Calendar or my Apple Calendar. I don't recommend starting with a monthly calendar, okay? Because you're going to just be duplicating what you have in there and you're not sure that you like this yet. So another important part is, I know you're bored in the beginning, but just hear me out. Another important part about starting your planning journey is you can't really rely, when you first bring home your iPad and you download it and you set it up and you get your pencil, it can't be your sole thing in the beginning. So like, meaning if you're switching from paper planning to digital, don't throw your paper planner away yet. You know, you have to really use your paper planner still and use this as an extra until you understand how to use the app, because it will make you quit prematurely when you didn't really give it a chance. Another thing that you could do, which is a little bit more advanced, but you still could do it, is you could do it a folder set. I have several videos on the folders and how to do them. This is mine. I love mine. I have several. So that's another way you could start, okay? The last thing that you can do, which is I think my preference for anybody, is to go in my Etsy shop. In the sections on the left-hand side, like I said, or the drop-down, there's an option to go pre-decorated. This is what the pre-decorateds look like. If you don't know what the pre-decorateds are, basically this came about because I was on live planning my stuff and people would be like, I wish my planner looked like that. I want that, but I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. So what I did was I started uploading a lot of my stuff that I do on my Etsy shop. Okay, so for example, this is a May pre-decorated. It is all of my stuff is portrait, and what portrait means is when you view it from this angle, it takes up the whole screen, and then if you turn it this way, it's meant to be this way. You can still view it like this. I prefer everything in portrait, and you'll see why. First of all, the mini's a smaller screen. Second of all, when you split screen and you have landscape, meaning they go this way, they both look just short and they don't take up the whole top and bottom of the screen. So I'm a portrait girl all the way. And so this is an example of the May pre-decorated. We have the calendar. We have 2 different calendar options, actually, cherry blossom and more of like a Cinco de Mayo theme. And then we have my dated weeklies. Now these are dated, but you can delete the dates if you want to use these at another time, okay? So let's talk about if you're going to start with the pre-decorated. So I have the May, for example. I have some that are not dated in terms of months. That one just has a March sticker, but I have a lot of like random catch-alls. I have daily pre-decorated. These are really cute daily planners that you guys could get. So let's start talking about if you were to go pre-decorated, what would you do, okay? So I'm going to start a new folder here. And I'm going to call this, let's pretend like I have nothing on my screen. I know that would be nice for you guys, but pretend like I have nothing on my screen, okay? The first thing I'm going to do, and the first thing that you guys can do if you're going to do the pre-decorated, is you're going to start a new folder. You're going to click the plus sign. And then you're going to click, you can either write templates, that this will be where all of your templates will go in general, or you can write pre-decorated. I'm going to write templates. I'm going to actually just asterisk it so it'll stay at the top. That's a little secret. If you put a little asterisk and then put templates, it will stay at the top. I'm doing swipe text. We'll get into that. And now I have my templates folder. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you are going to download your first purchase. So again, let's just say you went ahead and you bought things. I'm actually going to get to the screen really quick. I'll be right back where I can download something. Hold on. Okay, in order to get to your downloads, you're either going to get an email when you make a purchase on Etsy, or you can go to Etsy.com on your browser, go to the top right. Oh, it doesn't show on mine. And you're going to click profile and then purchases. That is where you can always access any purchase, even if you've deleted it over time or you mess something up and you got to re-download it. Yours will look different. This is in my shop. Yours will look like a button here that says download. Mine just looks like this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the download button. Same process from here on out. Then I'm going to click download again. And then I'm going to go up here. This is where all of your downloads will be in your iPad. It's at this arrow. To download, you hit the top right arrow pointing down. To export, you're going to hit the arrow pointing up. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. It's going to bring me to this page, okay? This page is the link that I use to get you the item because Etsy has a file limit. So I have to use a link from Dropbox. You do not need Dropbox. You don't. I'm going to click here. Now I'm actually going to do this. Let me see, because I have the app on here. It should be fine, though. Yours will look different. You do not need the Dropbox app. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to click download again from here. This is where it wants to get you to sign in. I'm going to click continue with download only. Some people's screens look different. There's like a little, sometimes you want to look for that little arrow pointing down as well if yours doesn't look like mine. Continue with download only. Download again. And then I'm going to hit this button once again. So I have my link and now I have my zip drive. Your zip drive will live in your files folder that looks like this. You can delete it once you download it. Don't click preview content because that'll just be a preview. We want the actual thing. We're going to click export and then we're going to click open in GoodNotes. Okay. So from here, we've made our templates folder. I'm going to click location. If you're new, you'll only have one folder. If you're not, maybe you'll have several. And this is the new folder we just made. I'm going to put it right into that folder and I'm going to import it. Okay, so now this is one example I'm using. This is actually a debt and bill tracker. It's in my Etsy shop. It's under spring pre-decorated budget. Sorry, there's people doing landscaping. And so this is an example. Now I'm going to I just picked that one. I'm going to go to my pre-decorated templates really quickly. And I'm going to get the daily. I'm going to get the rainbow notepad. I'm going to duplicate it. You can duplicate things. And then I'm going to move the copy into that new folder I just made so I can use that. It's a better example. Templates, hold on. I don't want that folder, templates, this one. Okay, so now we have our first pre-decorated and you're like, now what do I do? Okay. The reason we made a template folder and we put those in there is because I don't want to write on the actual copy. What the beauty of digital planning is I can always come back. Let's just say I use this first daily on the first day I'm doing it. I don't want to write on this one. I want to have this one if I ever want to use it again later. Maybe I'm going to copy and paste it and delete some stickers. Like maybe I don't need this work sticker. I can delete it. But I don't want to delete it off the hard copy one because maybe I'll want it later. So what you're going to do, you can flip through. I love this one. It's just so cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip through. I'm going to find the one I want. Let's use, I've used that one before. I've used that one too. Let's use this weekly, okay? I am going to take this weekly planner. I'm going to make 3 dots. This 3 dots is like your action page, what you can do with that page. So I'm going to take that page. I'm going to click copy. And now I'm going to go to my home screen. I'm going to click the home button on the top left. I'm going to go back. And now you're like, well, what do I do? Now, if you have no notebooks, I'm going to create one. The notebook that we're creating is going to be our daily planner notebook. Actually, I think I copied a weekly, whatever. It's going to be our daily planner notebook. I have a daily notebook. This is where I keep all of my daily planners for the whole year. And what I do is I paste the most recent one after the folder. Of course, they're cutting down my tree the day I decide to film this. Of course. So yeah, this is my weekend. Don't worry about the weekend thing. This is my daily really up here. And I keep all of my dailies right up here. Okay. So that is what I do. If you guys like my planning method, you can do that as well. So you can create originally when you start creating notebooks, you can name them. Like you can create a work one. Let's click the plus sign, click a notebook. The difference between a notebook and a folder is when you make a notebook, let's just put daily work. I'm going to put an asterisk here too. Hold on. When you make a folder, you can actually click into the folder and see multiple notebooks. When you make a notebook, you can click into it and only see the notebook. You can see an overview if you click this waffle button, but that's the only place you can see the overview of the notebook. So now that we've done that, let's get a daily. I think I copied over a weekly. We're going to go back into templates. We're going to go over here. Let's pick this first one. It's gorgeous. So let's take all these stickers, by the way, are available throughout my Etsy shop. None of these are not available. They're in just different packs, okay? But these are bang for your buck. You can buy them and get a lot of stickers and, all that. 3 dots copy. We're going to go to that daily work notebook. All these tabs up here, I'm going to close them. I'm going to long press and hold and close all these tabs. Basically, all these are things I've recently had open, but I want to lessen it. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to my daily work notebook and I'm going to paste that page. So this is the first page in my daily work notebook. This page can go in the garbage. We just needed it to create the notebook. GoodNotes doesn't allow you to create really a notebook from a copied and paste page. So you have to go ahead and just click a random template. I'm going to 3 dots, move that page over to the garbage. Okay. So now we have our very first daily page. Okay. You're going to write in this. You're going to plan your whole day. You're going to get confused. You're going to be mad at me because the stickers are going to be moving around. It's a process, guys. Learning how to keep the stickers in place and not freaking out when they move does come very quickly over time when you keep practicing. But let's just skip ahead really quick and pretend like we have done that already. We've done our daily page and now it's the next day. What are we going to do? We are going to get our next page. Now, if you're ready for folders and such, we can do that too. But as a beginner, I think you should really focus on enjoying planning out your day and learning the toolbar. It's actually not going to be enjoyable at first. So just learning the toolbar, okay? Then we're going to go into the next one. Let's just say now we are ready for a weekly, okay? Or maybe a monthly. And you go to my Etsy shop and you buy the monthly planner. Let's do that. You go to my Etsy shop and you buy the monthly planner. Now, I do sell the monthly planner as a pre-decorated option, but I think a lot of people, let me just pause this. Hold on one second. The pause feature was the best thing that ever happened to me. So this is the plain black and white monthly calendar. I'm going to click open in GoodNotes. This is available. This is what we all are using pretty much. I'm going to put locations. I'm going to put it, I'll leave it on my home screen for right now. But this is the plain monthly calendar. And I know what you guys are thinking. It's ugly. It's perfect. It is perfect to decorate. It has enough room on the top and the bottom. I'm going to show you guys really quick what mine looks like because I use this every month. I use it actually in multiple places. I have one in my budget planner, I have one in my regular planner, and I also have one in my health planner. It is a lot, but I use them when I need them, and when I don't worry about it. Look how adorable it starts to look. So just trust me when I tell you, you want this one, okay? So now we have our monthly calendar. Now you have a couple options because it's April. You can either, I always delete the cover. The cover is ugly. I just do that as a placeholder. You can go ahead and delete January, February, March, or if you're someone that likes to back plan, you can do that too. You can also use these to practice decorating if you want. So let's just say we're going to start with April, okay? The first thing that you can do is if you are buying stickers when you're starting out is you can start using those stickers. Obviously in the beginning, you won't have that many, but I just want to show you a quick example. So let's just say we go to the pre-decorated template that you just bought. I want to just remind you. Sorry, my phone rang. Sorry about that, guys. My phone rang. I want to remind you that you can use these. So let's just say you wanted to make some cute sticky notes at the bottom of your planner. I can actually come over here, take all these sticky notes, copy them. I'm using my lasso tool, making sure images is on. I'm circling all of them. I'm clicking on the inside, and this is the copy button. This is the duplicate. This will give you another set. I don't want that. I just want to click and copy. And then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to long press. Whoops, I'm in my pen tool. With my lasso tool, I'm going to long press and paste. I know what you're thinking. Huge. I'm going to shrink them down. And now I can actually use these. I'm going to measure them like right here. And I'm going to use these and I'm going to scatter them at the bottom of my planner. So you guys see what I mean? You can use them again. That's too many. You can use them again. I just wanted to show you guys that. Now I know that doesn't look that cute, but you guys get the point. You'll be using sticky notes every single day. So now we have our calendar here, okay? You can go ahead and let's just say you decorate this. You can decorate in the very beginning using your highlighter tool. You cannot decorate at all. You can practice zooming in the boxes. And let's just say you want to make your first appointment. Look, so I just made that accidental period. I'm going to come here and I'm going to hit the back arrow. And that will just undo anything that I just did. I don't have to spend time like deleting or resizing, okay? You can zoom in. You can click with your text tool. You can put Courtney live, okay? You can then practice taking your lasso tool, taking that text and clicking it and clicking this button and making it fit right inside the box like that. So there's lots of different things that you can do. Okay, that's one of them is learning how to do the text tool, guys. You can either use the text tool like that, and then when you click and make another box, you can also write like this. You do not need to write inside of the box. You see what I mean? Wow, on the Pro, it is a little bit easier. If you guys are starting out, it's definitely a little bit easier with the bigger screen. So that's something that you guys can start practicing, okay? Or you can decide that you want to start buying your first theme sticker. So in my Etsy shop, I have a section called themes. The theme stickers are just what they sound like. And when I'm talking about themes, I try to really give you guys what you need. I don't always give everything just because depending on the pack, but like, let's just say for Jammy Fruit, this is what Jammy Fruit looks like. It's a really cute sticker pack. And let's say we want to do our first Jammy Fruit sticker. So we're going to do the date dots, okay? So I always start with a monthly planner with date dots. I'm going to take all the date dots. Let's take these ones. I'm going to circle them all. I'm going around, just around the insides of these outer ones. And that way I can grab just these stickers. If I were to grab along the whole outside, look what happens. I'm grabbing that one, that one, that one. I don't want all those, okay? I just want these up over here and over here. Over here, I'm going to click on them. I'm going to click copy, but you can also long press, drag them over, make sure you have some selected, look at that green plus sign and drop. So from here, this is a really good first thing to do with the date dots. You can resize them all together like this. And then you're going to circle each one individually. They're all pre-cropped and you can drag and drop like that. So this is a really fun way to learn how to use stickers, and it's a very frustrating way in the beginning. See how I'm just grabbing a little tip of the top? That's all you want to do. I'm going to circle all of them. I'm going to move them down so that they're out of my way. Circle the little top one, drag and drop. Circle the little top one, drag and drop. Okay. So that is how you use date dots. From here, throughout this pack, now let me pause because I have to go to my color dictionary. The color dictionary, if you guys are starting, I keep it in my quick planning folder. The color dictionary is a must. It is a big purchase, but you get all of these swatches, and some may say, well, what would I do with that? Okay, what would I do with that? For example, I want to color, as I've done with some of my other spreads that you've seen, I like to cover up the top and the bottom. So I can go over here. Let's just say I want to use a pink. A pink would be pretty with this. I can go to my pink page. I'm going to look for a pink that I like, drag it over. I don't really care how it looks. This is just an example. And I'm going to stretch it out and cover up the bottom part because I think it looks cuter. Now it's on top. I'm going to click again, look for that dotted line, click it again, click arrange and send it to the back. And now those stickers will be on top. And then I'm going to go ahead and click maybe I'll do a green because that's like really picnicky. Long press, drag, drop, look for that green plus sign, stretch it out. You can only stretch out these plain images like this. Other than that, if they're a decorative image, you have to use this bottom one. See, if you stretch this out like that, it'll be warped. So I'm going to stretch this out. This doesn't look great, but this is just for an example. Click, arrange, send it to the back. And now you have your planner. Now you can either do these with patterns or plain ones. Okay. But that is one of the many, many, many purposes of the color dictionary. So then you can go ahead and decorate your planner. I'm not going to get too into the decorating right now because as you're starting out, a lot of the decorating stuff you guys can watch me do on live, but it's the other nitty gritty stuff that you need help with. So for example, let's just say this May planner looks adorable. We love the way it looks, yada, yada. Let's do our first May weekly, okay? The May weekly is where, for example, I can go into my template folder. I can go into this. This was our first pre-decorated that we bought, and I actually have a weekly planner in here. So let's say I want to use this weekly, and how I do it is I keep my weeklies in between my monthlies. It does not get too big. It's 4 pages in between each month, maybe 5, okay? I'm going to click the 3 dots. I'm going to copy this weekly planner page in here. I'm going to go back over to my planner, which is right here. And I'm going to go to May, and in between May and June, let's just pretend it's the first week of May. I'm going to click the plus sign, and I'm going to paste that page that we just copied. So now I have my first week of May. Let's pretend this is 1, 2, I don't even know what the dates are. It doesn't matter. 4, 5. I only do weeklies and then I do weekends on a separate planner. But let's just say I want my week number 2. Okay, I know I'm going fast, but this is just the basics. Let's find another weekly. I should have one more. Let's do this one. So now I can copy this one, go over to that planner. And what I do, and you guys can do it whatever way you want because it's your planner, is I always will go back to the May monthly and paste that new planner here. So now this is 1 through 7. This is going to be 8, 9. And the reason I like doing it like this is because I always want my most recent weekly right after my monthly. It does go backwards. Like the last week in May will always be first, and then, so on and so forth. And I don't do my weekly until that Sunday. That's how I like to do it. You could pre-plan if you want and do them ahead of time. But I like to have, if you're going to pre-plan, do it regular. If you're going to do it my method, copy and paste the most recent weekly right after. That way, if you get to your May monthly, you can just swipe over one time and you're at the current week. Okay? So that's a little bit about the organization of it all. Again, that is if you guys want to start with a monthly planner and a weekly planner, you can do that method. If you don't, you can do your daily notebook and just do some daily to-do lists and all that kind of stuff. You can do the cookbook. Like I said, we will get into the cookbook, but I kind of am just thinking of some basics. If you're going to start buying stickers, what you're going to want to do is just like we made our sticker folder. I have mine right down here. I have a whole folder filled with stickers. And in my folder, I have more folders to subcategorize things, okay? So I have all my health stickers in here and all that kind of stuff. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click the plus sign, click another folder, and you're going to call these stickers. I just said this really weird. You can also change the color and you can put an icon on here, okay? I never do, but. And then we're going to click done. Oh, I already have that stickers example. Click done. So now, let's just say you go to download. Why can't I talk? Let's just say you go to download a sticker pack. Let me pause. I picked one of my very favorite sticker packs to show you. We're going to click here just like we did with the other one. We're going to click open. This one's going to bring me to Dropbox. Yours will look different because you don't have Dropbox. But let's just click here and let's click save to this device and let's click open in GoodNotes. Again, yours will look a little bit different. And now I'm going to put the location into my sticker example. Okay. So now, again, you don't need folders in the beginning because maybe you won't have that many, but this is an awning sticker pack. So now we have our first sticker pack in here. As you start buying stickers, you can start organizing them, but you won't need that in the beginning unless you're buying, like, maybe some people buy 30 packs on their first purchase with me. It's just people fall in love with it and they're addicted. So if that's the case, you can go ahead. I do have a whole separate video on my sticker organization on my YouTube. But I think like we've gotten a really good place to get started. I think the folders are probably not, the reason the folders are not the best place to start is because you kind of have to go ahead and figure out how to work hyperlinks. I don't recommend a hyperlink planner. I don't recommend hyperlinks for my beginner people because it's a little bit more of a learning curve. But you can maybe get the other stuff down pat first. If you wanted to start with the cookbook, what happens when you get the cookbook is, let me just pause again. Okay, this is the cookbook. I'm going to click export. I'm going to click open in GoodNotes. And I came out with this because I had so many screenshotted recipes. When you buy this is what the one looks like. This one has labels. When you buy it, there are two options if you guys don't want these categories. I have a blank one where you can put your own categories. But in the back of the planner, I have all these plain pieces of paper. What you're going to do is you're going to click edit. Okay, you're going to click one of them. Again, we're in the waffle right here. We're going to click edit. We're going to click one of them. We're going to click copy. And let's just go to whichever section. These are hyperlinked as well. Let's go to whatever section. Maybe we have a dinner recipe that we want. We're going to plus sign paste that page. And we can start naming this recipe, okay? Pot pie. Now, once we name this page, right, we wrote on this page. But in our waffle, we still have that same white one blank down here because all we did was copy it. We don't want to move it. We want to copy it. That way these are ready to go when we want more. I do have an add-on pack with more colors and stickers. But then what you're going to do is with the photo tool, I don't have any, but let's go get one. Hold on. Let's pretend like this looks good. I actually don't like chicken pot pie, so I'm not really sure why I just said that. But what we're going to do, you can screenshot by either swiping up from the bottom left or clicking the off button and the volume up, either one. So I'm going to start screenshotting and I'm going to click done and save it to my photos. I'm going to screenshot whatever instruction I need. Okay, you can do this from TikTok too. These are all the ingredients. I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to crop out all this unnecessary stuff. I just want the ingredients. Save to photos. And then I want the instructions. So I'm going to go here. This is a pretty big thing. I'm going to click that. I'm going to crop this out. And then I'm going to click done and save it. So now I have all my 3 photos. And just as easy as 1, 2, 3, I'm going to take a little photo of it. They don't need to look that pretty, guys. I kind of didn't do this in mind of like, I wanted it to look cute, but this is convenience, okay? Convenience. And now, instead of having this on my screenshot, I have them right in my planner. And so you can do, like I said, when you buy it, there's 2 downloads. You can do ones with categories such as chicken, steak, or beef, or fish, poultry, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Or you can do it like this. And now we have our recipes. These are the cover pages. So when you click on this, you can go to dinner and then keep swiping. Now, my best hack with this, and for anything within GoodNotes, is to bookmark whatever pages you're currently using. So what that means is, let's go to my main planner. If I go to this and I go to my bookmark pages, I have my April and my May bookmarked and all of my cover pages. So again, waffle, thumbnail, you can see the whole notebook. Bookmark, you can see just the ones that you flagged. So now I can go here, get to my May really quickly, and then I can also bookmark my current weekly. This was my last week, okay? And so that is an option that you can do with the cookbook, is during that week when you're planning your meals, if you have a ton of recipes, you can go and bookmark all of the ones that you're using that week. And then when you go to bookmarks, you'll easily find them. And then when you're done, you can unbookmark and bookmark new ones. So that's the cookbook. That's the stickers. I think that we are at a good place for you guys to digest that. I know we didn't go over the toolbar that much, but like I said, you will see that in several other of my videos. I feel like this video was just a really easy breakdown on some different ways that you can get started, either in my shop or really wherever you guys want. Obviously, I'm going to talk about my shop, but there's lots out there. So if you guys have questions and other parts of this series that you want, please let me know. I would love to do more beginner videos. And I can't wait to have my live Zooms with you guys because I'm hoping to do some beginner live Zooms. So thank you guys for watching. And if you're starting out, please remember, let it be miserable for a couple of weeks and then you will be as fast as me, zipping around your planner, on the go, with your iPad mini, in your purse, looking fab. And you will be happier than ever and organized, okay? I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye, guys.